Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So we are going to be doing something that's been very highly requested, which is the update of my vision board. I have said to you guys that I've been going to update it for a while. So here we go, this is the upgrading. So we're down on my floor because it's the only place I have enough room to do all of this. So please excuse the funny backdrop, it's just my door. So we're going to be doing all this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using first. And then we'll go into actually putting it all together. So the things that I'm going to be using, the basic things I'm going to be using, I've got some blue tack, so I've just got a strip of blue tack and some scissors. I have some twine, so this is the gold kikki.k twine, came out at Christmas time, so that's what I'm going to be using, but any twine string will do. I then got some push pins. These are the kikki.k push pins. Yes, I am a kikki.k addict. We're aware of this fact. So I've got these ones. What I would suggest, it doesn't matter if you don't use kikki.k ones, but get one that's got a flat top. I know you guys can't see that with the zoom, but try and get one that's got a flat top and you'll see why, because we're going to do some 3D bits and pieces as we go. So try and get one with flat tops if you can. I've then got some wooden pegs. This is just an extra kind of different way to do it. I've then got, these are the Create with kikki.k Polaroid pictures. Basically, they're just your pictures that you send into them and they create matte kind of Polaroid shots or Polaroid kind of prints with them. So I've picked out a couple that I'm going to be putting on my board. Can't remember how much these are, but I will talk about them a little bit more when I get moving into this. I've then got 4 Paper Lovers books that I'm going to be using through this one. So I've got the 2015 Inspiration Paper Lovers book, the Cute Paper Lovers book that came out in 2015, the brand spanking new 2016 Inspiration Paper Lovers book, and the Vanskap Paper Lovers book. I have done walkthroughs of all 4 of these ones, which I will link to down below so you can check them out. And as I'm going, I'll tell you which collection the piece I'm using has come out of. So you'll be able to know if you see something you like, you'll be able to know pretty quickly where it's come from. So without any further ado, let's get into this and let's go. Okay, so this is a kikki.k vision board. This is the large size one. I bought this about 18 months ago. I think I got it for my birthday in 2014. And it's basically had the same thing on it ever since I've got it. So this is the first real update it's had. It does take pride of place on my wall in my office. It's a really beautiful contrast between the black wall and the white board. So if you guys want to check that out, how the old one sort of sat on my wall, I'll link my office tour video down below. You guys can check that out. So what I've done is I've gone through all the Paper Lovers books and I've picked out the things I want to use here. So I'm kind of speeding through this so you guys don't have to look at every single step. So I have already pulled out everything I want and roughly designed where I want it. So this is going to go pretty quickly and I do know where everything's going to go. So I hope you guys don't mind that I've kind of sped through that part of it. So the very first thing I'm going to be using is coming out of the Vanskap Paper Lovers book. And it's just a big quote card that says a little magic can take you a long way. So that's going to sit in that top corner there. And this next one, which is also out of the Vanskap Paper Lovers book but a different range, is this gorgeous one with the little kitty that says it's kind of fun to do the impossible by Walt Disney. So those 2 are going to sort of start the corners of my board. And then the one that's going to go in the middle, which I think is really appropriate for this particular board, is this one, which is a Be Brave range. It was the quote cards that came out with that range. I'll link all these products down below as well so you guys can check them out. So it's just a quote card set and it just says start somewhere, which is really appropriate for starting my vision board anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a couple of pins. I'm just going to lay them out next to the board so I can kind of go along. Now depending on how you want to do this, you can either put it so you don't put a hole in the item or you do. So it's whichever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. I try and avoid putting holes in them if I can. Some of them won't stick. And so the one in the middle, what I was saying before about using flat topped pins, the reason we do that is so you grab a little bit of blue tack and it just gives your board some dimension because everything's not flat. So you just put a little bit of blue tack on top of your pin and then tack it to the bottom or the back of your card, and then you place it down in the middle as you would any other pin. But it just gives a little bit of dimension to your board and just makes it feel like it's not quite so flat. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to run some bunting along the bottom. This is bunting I've already put together. If you guys want to see how I put bunting together, just let me know and I will do another video for you. But as you guys know, I'm not the biggest bunting fan in the entire world. I kind of don't see the point of it sometimes. But with your vision board, it's just an extra little decorating tool that I don't mind using. So I always, well, I don't always, but I tend to run it on the bottom. I just think it looks better there. So this is just that same twine that I'm going to be using the whole time through this, just with some knots on the end, and I've just sort of put that on the bottom. It will sit, it just needs to get kind of loose enough to do so, and you can obviously wiggle these around. If they're really bugging you and they're not sitting flat, which I'll wait and see at the end if they're not sitting flat, that's when you can get some blue tack, make them stick down properly. It also is up to you whether you want that loose or tight. This time I wanted it tight. If you look at the last one, if you look in my office video or a couple of my Instagram pictures, you'll see it was a bit loose. So it's up to you, that part. So the next part I'm going to do, I'm not going to talk you through every little bit. I'm kind of going to start placing these in fast time so you guys don't have to sit and have me talk through everything. But I will tell you what they are as I'm placing them, and then I'll go ahead and pin them down. That might be the quicker way to do that. So the next bit, one came out of the Cute Paper Lovers book and one came out of the 2015 Inspiration Paper Lovers book. So they're going to go up in that top corner. Then got this beautiful teal heart, which I think goes really nicely with that grey. That came out of the Cute Paper Lovers book, and this one came out of the Vanskap, just using the contrast range. I'm just going through all my little pieces of cardboard over here. So then we've got, this one came out of the Cute Paper Lovers book. Got too many bits and pieces. I was trying to be really organised for you guys and it just hasn't worked the way I wanted it to. This is out of the Be Brave Be Brave quote card set, and that sort of ties this one in because otherwise it would be basically the only one. So I am trying to tie them in. Oh no, there's another one up here. Try and keep all the collections tied together if you can. You don't want to just have one random one that doesn't quite match. Then I'm putting this one here. This is from the new, no it's not, it's from the old Inspiration Paper Lovers book, and it sits right above that one. Try not to move this too much, but I'm not doing a very good job. These two then go up in the corner, so that one comes out of, that one came out of the, oh now I can't remember which one, it must come out of the old 2015 Inspiration Paper Lovers book. And this one here came out of the Write Your Own Tomorrow vision board kit. So you can obviously use the vision board kits, that's kind of what they're there for. So if you can use those ones, definitely do. So the one I'm going to put up the top here, this one came out of the new Inspiration vision board kit. It says be yourself, everyone else is already taken. And this one also came out of the new one, I think. If it didn't, it came out of the old one. And it says if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. But I'm 90% sure that one came out of the new Inspiration kit. Then I've got this one here right underneath it that says find the beauty in simplicity, which came out of the new Inspiration vision board kit. And this one that says it always seems impossible until it's done, which came out of the Write Your Own Tomorrow vision board kit. So that's the basic, oh hold on, no I'm missing one more. And then I've got this beautiful photo here that I just want up the top. That's of the beach, well, the ocean down near my grandparents' house where I grew up. So that's sort of the basic setting of it. I'm going to go ahead and pin all of that down. A couple of those bits are going to be 3D, so the same way this one was. So I'll go ahead and do all of that, speed through it, and I'll be back to talk you through the next bit. So that is the basic sort of layout that I've gone with, and you'll notice I've left 2 big gaps in the middle. So what the big gaps are there for, before I go on to the big gaps. So you also see I've used the 3D thing a couple of times through the big items. When I say the big items, the ones that are taking up most of the space. I have got some little bits and pieces that will also go in here, and some of them will be 3D as well. So when we get to that, I'll show you that. So the only last thing I want to do before I put the next little bit on is I just want to grab hold of it. So this is going to go out of shot for everybody, so I'm really sorry. And just make sure that nothing falls off, which it didn't. So that's all good. So from there, the next thing I'm going to do is run 2 string lines across here, which is where my extra little pictures are going to sit, but where I'm going to use the pegs. So all I'm going to do is just try and line this up reasonably evenly. I can't get my words right. And again, you guys know me by now. I'm never perfect. Oh, look, I've got a broken one. That's not good. I'm never perfect. I'm generally kind of off center. And with a vision board, it doesn't really matter all that much. You can do basically whatever you want to do with it. So all I've done is just tied some knots in these. I don't actually know if they're too long or too short. We'll soon find out. I think those ones are actually too long. So all we're going, if it's too long, which this one is, you can just tighten them up or retie knots, whichever you want to do. I've tied these so that they can be tightened. So we'll just see if that actually makes a difference. Might be a little bit harder to get around these, but that's okay. It sits like that. And then I just grab the bits I want. So I've just got some pictures here. So I've got one there of me and my partner, and I've got one there of my dog, because these are the things that are most important to me. Well, some of the things that are most important to me. My partner will complain and say, wait a minute, there's no picture of Footy, but ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. That picture of my dog is so old. He was such a little puppy. It's even in our old car. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in just a sec. What it looks like when I've done those 2. I'm just looking at that thinking that's a bit high, which is also because it's slightly tighter than the other one, so if you loosen it up it will sit better or worse, or higher or lower. Yeah, I think that looks about right. It is slightly shorter, I am aware, so you can tighten this one up if you want to. The other thing if you want to do it really quickly, is you can just twist these up around, but I don't like doing it that way. I think that's cheating. So I'm just going to leave it like that. It doesn't really bother me that much. If it really annoys me, I'll change it later. Go. So then the next part I'm going to do, whoops, knock over my pegs is what I'm going to do. So I've got a bunch of little ones here, like little cutouts that have come out of various Paper Lovers books, and I'll tell you which ones, I'll tell you which ones as I do them. And they sort of just float. And when I say float, I mean they just go basically wherever I want them to. So we're gonna just kind of have a look and see where I think they work. So as I said, I have kind of done this already, but the last time I did this, I didn't do it with the string. So I'm just seeing how different the string makes it look. No, I like that one there. So I'm gonna leave that one there, and that one's gonna stay flat. So this one came out of the new Inspiration Paper Lovers book. So the other little cloud that I've got is gonna come down in this corner, and that one's gonna be 3D because I don't have anything sort of 3D in that area. I've lost where I put my... So just doing the same thing as before, just putting a little bit of blue tack on the back, and then you just stick it down. There's a dog hair on my floor, so excuse the little bits of dog hair that kind of keep popping up. I think most of these ones came out of either the new... These two definitely came out of the vision board kit. This one... I think these two came out of the old Paper Lovers book. Those two came out of the new one. And then this one came out of the Vanskap, so... Just got a couple of little bits and pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do these, and I'll just let you know which one at the end. I'll come back and let you know which ones are 3D and which ones aren't. That's what it looks like when I've finished. So basically this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one are your 3D ones, and I'm just looking at that and I think something's missing. There's just a gap here that I don't like. So what I'm doing is I'm just jumping into the new Inspiration Paper Lovers book. Just trying to find the right sort of thing. In fact, I know which one I want. It's not in that one. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I know what I want to put there. So I'm going to the old Paper Lovers book. The old Inspiration Paper Lovers book. Sorry, I need to be more specific when I say things like that. I'm just going to the cardboard cutouts. And there's a little rainbow. And I want the rainbow. Just pulling that out. As you guys know me, I'm going to just trim off all the nubbly bits because I don't like them. I'm just going to put that one right there. There we go. So that is my new vision board. I will put it up on the wall and take a photo of it that I'll put up in just a second so you guys can see it. But that's basically it. Like, it's not particularly difficult. It's using a bunch of different ranges. Like, I've got stuff here from the Write Your Own Tomorrow, the new Cute range, the Inspiration range, obviously the Be Brave range, the Vanskap range, and two of the ones from the teal and black range that was in the back of the old Inspiration Paper Lovers book. And even from and I still don't know what that range is called. I will remember it and I will write it and I'll put it down below for you guys. Plus using some of these beautiful Instagram prints that basically just sit in my drawer. I never seem to use them. So this is a good way to get them out of your drawer and onto your wall. If you don't like the kikki.k ranges, if you want to use a different thing, I had on my old one, I had a bunch of quotes that quotes from songs and bits and pieces that I've just printed out. You can use them just as easily. You don't need to get stuff out of the Paper Lovers books or the vision board kits. You can get them from wherever you like. And if you're a bit more of a creative type or a bit more of a student of chaos theory type, you can have like a big bit in the middle where you have like a collage and then have neat stuff around the side, or the whole thing can be a collage. It's whatever you can look at in the morning that makes you go, yep, this is how I'm going to live my day, and this is how I'm going to make my day slightly more positive. And that's what I've kind of done. Like, a lot of these say believe, a lot of these say dream. And when I was sort of putting it together the first time, looking at it going, this one says dream, that one says dream, that says dream, that says dream. Like, it's used almost too often, but that's what you need to be thinking about when you're doing your sort of your daily mindfulness and you're thinking about how you're going to set your day up. You need to dream big, because it's the only way good things are going to happen is if you dream them first. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you guys like it. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, if you think I could move something. If you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, then please subscribe. If you're on Instagram, please check me out at @plummashable, plum_mashable on Instagram. Otherwise, guys, I will talk to you again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.